we are now officially a 3-season show. So.
That's me on the set of The Chosen Season 3. Hi, I'm Becca. If you're a fan of The Chosen and follow them on social media, then guaranteed you have seen my work. I've created almost 100 little short social media videos of funny and unique moments from set, as well as several promotional videos for YouTube. If you're unfamiliar with who I am, I'm a freelance video editor, and I've been traveling and working for myself for the last several years and documenting both my travel and work adventures here. Ultimately, I want to encourage you to live life now and to make the most of where you are, what you have, and who you're with. This is a story about how I got on The Chosen, and I've been waiting to share this for about the last year and a half. So this is one of, if not the most pivotal point in my work journey so far. Here's how I got connected with The Chosen in the first place. Basically, my boss and I went to the same school and are in a small Facebook group of about 50 or so people who all graduated from the same major. He posted back in 2020 about needing help on the behind the scenes team for The Chosen, and our mutual friend who set up the group recommended me. At the time, however, I was actually not in Texas, which is one of their primary shooting locations. I was in Maine, hiding from COVID. So they ended up going with someone else. And that was obviously disappointing. I've definitely had many times when I thought something was going to be my next big break, and it ended up falling through. I moved back to Texas then in 2021, and in 2022, I plan to start traveling and pick up life where I left off before COVID. I was going to go from Texas out to California, travel out west. But the more I worked on it, the more things just didn't seem to come together. And in all honesty, my heart really wasn't in it. It's something I had wanted to do and still want to do, but things just, I don't know. I was questioning my motivation for not only traveling, but for starting my YouTube channel in the first place. And as I did a lot of self-exploration, I realized that I really had been motivated up to that point a lot by my past and what I didn't want to do. And what I didn't want was to feel stuck. And so that's where a lot of my motivation was coming from, as opposed to just, this is what I want to do moving forward. Hey, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button so that I can keep making more content like this for you and others to enjoy. My theme for 2022 was survival to thrival, which I know isn't a word, but I really don't care. I did a lot of work the year before to take my business to the next level, like making huge changes to my website and creating a system to seamlessly walk my clients through my production process. During this time, I also started working with a life coach, and I was on a mission to invest in myself in multiple ways. Ironically, when I was talking with my life coach and we were talking about business opportunities, I happened to mention, oh yeah, that's so crazy. I was talking to someone about working on The Chosen. Maybe I should reach out to them. You know, when you can almost sense like that stillness in the water or like a calm before the storm? That's how I felt during this time. And I really, truly believe that God was going to do something big. I just didn't know what that was. And of course, there's a lot of anxiety and everything that comes along during those times. So in late February, early March, I had 2 opportunities come through that I almost pursued. I found a room through the relative of a friend in Southern California for $850 a month. Again, in Southern California. I was also presented with the opportunity to work with South by Southwest, which would have potentially meant some great connections. Both situations were great, but I just didn't have peace about them. Around this same time, my friend and I took a trip to the Texas Hill Country. We were coming back from that trip after a couple of wineries, and again, this is 2 years later after that initial interaction. I decided to check my Facebook notifications, and I went, oh wow, that's so crazy. That same person who posted 2 years ago about needing people on the behind the scenes team, posted again, and that same friend who had recommended me before recommended me again. I was a little tipsy, if you couldn't tell, not because I drink much, just because I'm a bit of a lightweight. I decided it was a good idea to respond right then. My friend said, "Should you do that right now?" And I said, "It'll be fine." So that was on a Monday. On Wednesday, I had a phone call with the person who would eventually be my boss. Told him I was pretty much made for this job. Told him a very nerdy story about how I had labeled and cataloged all 100 plus of my family's VHS tapes growing up. And on Friday, I accepted the job. And suddenly, everything started to fall into place. This was the official start of my life going from survival to thrival. This is how amazing it is how God lined up so many things. On Sunday, I had turned down that amazing living situation in Southern California, and on Monday, this came through. Even if I had stayed in Texas, I was still looking for another place to live, and this meant I had a place to stay. I had turned down the South by Southwest opportunity, and doing this job meant great connections and also great boost to my portfolio. I'd also just wrapped up my website in March, and I believe that also played a part in getting me the job. Even little things like my friend and I were planning this trip for a long time, and we almost did it 3 weeks later, but that would have conflicted with my start date on the show. I also had a lot of great one-on-one times with my close friends, which were already planned. Just everything seemed to line up. I was still working for myself. This was still a contract gig, but having one big client that you are working with for a long period of time is very, very appealing. I ended up moving up to Dallas 3 weeks later, and the following Monday was the first day of production on season 3.
We are now officially a 3-season show.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
I've since worked on seasons 3 and 4 of The Chosen, and it's been an amazing, amazing journey.
Wait till we go over these grid things.
All right.
The molars in your teeth.
Exciting.
Yeah, we're surrounded by cows.
We are surrounded.
I know, even with this.
Could you be doing that?
What?
What magic is
Oh,
this?
yeah.
He's a
I better
witch.
stop before I get in trouble.
Besides from the obvious of presenting the authentic life of Jesus Christ, the best part has been the people and the wonderful friendships that have come about because of it. We are truly, truly a family. I continue to try and remind myself in those times of stillness and calm before the storm, when you're not sure what's happening, that usually during those times, God has something big just around the corner. You just can't see it yet. I realize it's easier to say than it is to live by, but that has been consistently my experience. Since then, I've traveled to Southeast Asia, and I'm planning another trip coming up very, very soon. If you'd like my life coach's info, I've included that below. I do believe that investing in myself and taking those initial steps of trust not only contributed to me getting the job on The Chosen, but also to my travels overseas. So that's it. That's my story of how I ended up on The Chosen. So if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to follow my adventures, and I hope to inspire you to live life now and to make the most of where you are, what you have, and who you're with. I'll see you next time.